Hello and welcome, everyone. Welcome to Parent Strategies for Struggling Teens. My name is Josh Oakes, and I'm so excited to have you here. Welcome, everyone. We are live on YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, and a bunch of other networks. We're so grateful to be here today. My name is Josh Oakes, the founder of smartsocial.com. I have a co-presenter here today who is a dear friend and an excellent human being. I'm so excited for you to get the chance to be with her and hang out with her and listen to her story tonight. Now, if you're watching the replay, boy, do we have a lot in store for you. There's some navigation along the bottom where you can watch this at 1.5x. If you're joining us live, you have even more in store. Welcome, everyone. It's so good to have you here, whether you're on our live webinar software, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, and everywhere else. And if you're watching the replay at smartsocial.com and you're a VIP member, we're so excited. Now, we put together an incredible evening for you with pro tips, dialogue starters, all kinds of incredible stuff I think you're going to really like. If you see me looking around, it's because I've got 4 monitors. It's a little bit much, but it's a lot like me. It's level 10. You're going to get a lot. There's a lot of energy that's going to happen here this evening. Or if you're watching this again in the morning, welcome. We're going to give you a little bit of background on us, but we will not use buzzwords. It's going to be all about your family. I promise you that if you get your phone out and you take some pictures or you take some screenshots, you can run with this, use it with a friend, maybe help another struggling parent, or maybe help your family. I'm so excited and so honored to be here with you today. Hello to everybody on Instagram. It's so great to have you here. Welcome. All right, I want to introduce everybody to my incredible person that I have here today. Andrea Allen is here today, and I want to walk you through a little bit of her story. Can you please tell us a little bit about your background, where you're from, where you live in this world? And we've got a bunch of people joining us here live. Welcome.
Thanks, Josh. I am so excited to be here live with all of you. I am here in Midway, Utah, small little town. It's green and beautiful right now. Just wouldn't want to be anywhere else in the world. And I am a mom. I have a 20-year-old and a 20-year-old daughter and a 16-year-old son. And I am in the world of marketing and sales. I just left my position, corporate position at a global leadership organization. And I am just beyond thrilled to be able to work with Josh and to work with parents to help you keep your kids safe.
Yeah, I'm so excited that you're here. We've known each other 10 years, and what's really exciting is what we're going to show you here tonight. There's a lot of good things. Hello to everyone live. It's so great to have you here. Now, we'll be giving away some gift cards in the comments, so hang out for just a little while, but we're going to dive in tonight. Now, Andrea, can you walk us through why we're in the right place? I want you to kind of walk us through a little bit actually just walk us through bullet number 1.
Yeah, absolutely. So tonight is for you. If you have a struggling teenager who may lack confidence or who has some negative self-talk, maybe they isolate themselves, they're spending too much time on their phones, or they just are starting to feel disconnected socially with their friends, or maybe it's with you. There's starting to be a little bit of disconnect. Maybe they have trouble managing their emotions. So if any of those feel like you're in the right place.
I'll do number 2, and then you do number 3. If you want to feel joy at home, there's hope. We're going to show you a few of those things.
Number 3, if you are excited to learn new strategies about how to support and help your child, you're in the right place.
And last, if you're willing to do things a little differently by implementing some new ideas and have new conversations, and we talk to the Smart Social team every day, think different. And those of you that knew who Steve Jobs was, he really made that motto famous. And that's what we're here to do today. The same strategies that got us here won't get us to where we want to go. That is true in every single world, whether it's in education, whether it's at home, whether it's in business, and also for our happiness. There are different ways to do this, and we're excited tonight. Let me give you a quick background on Smart Social. We have an app, a podcast, a website, and resources that are viewed by a couple million students, parents, professionals each year, helping them to, number 1, be safe on social media while still having fun, and also by the time they're 25, actually between the ages of 15 to 25, we want them to start thinking about shining online. We want them to start thinking about their online resume so they can do the things that they're passionate about, putting it online and building a portfolio. I have interviews with 350 plus educators as I listen to superintendents, principals, counselors across the country. We've implemented the findings you're about to see into 150 plus school districts. I've personally traversed this beautiful country and spoken to 250,000 students, as you can see in the upper right. Before COVID, I've been to 29 states for speeches, and it's what a blessing, what a gift it was. We've been featured on the news 29 plus times, and since 2013, our books and also our website has become the go-to resource to stay updated on the latest trends and apps. We have an app, we have a version 2.5 coming out here soon, lots of different languages that our programs are in. Just so grateful, so grateful. Okay, now, Andrea, I want to walk through what do we have going on here. Let's give everybody a quick backstory. After we talked to 1,000 parents, these are the top 12 concerns we have. And I want to leave everybody here just for a second. Those of you that are here live with us, those of you that are watching on social media, it's so great to have you. Comment below, have you seen anyone in your community? Is there a trend going on with one of these 12? Now, I call these 12 the dirty dozen. Why do I call them that? Because these are the most, and there's some overlaps here. Every child is a little different. You're going to notice we probably could chat GPT this and have it come up with the top 8 or 9. But we really spread it out so you feel like there's something for you. And if you see something here that resonates with you, it could be negative self-talk or self-doubt. We've heard that a million times. Lacking self-confidence, number 2, or self-esteem. Number 3, lack of friends, no friends, or the wrong friends. Number 4, screen addiction, gaming systems or phones. And let me tell you the trends. Over the summer, kids have a little bit more free time. They don't have to wake up super early. They don't really maybe have a little bit more free time. They're going to be on those gaming devices. Parents, we hear you. You're a little scared about what your kids are doing over the summer. We've got number 5, unable to control emotions, anger coming out. Anger is coming out and they're crying. Number 6 is depression, anxiety, poor relationships with parents. And number 7. Number 8, we hear a lot of kids lacking motivation. Parents feel that kids are lazy, or maybe they're stuck right now, or there's just a little bit of a time when that's happening. Number 9 is comparing themselves to others, caring what others think. 10 is they isolate themselves in their room due to device addiction. Number 11 is feeling overwhelmed. And number 12, we tweak this one a little bit all the time. They really hate school or they aren't engaged in class. Hate's a strong word. I apologize, but I'm using the words that kids might use, students might use, your teenager might use. Andrea, walk us through, as you've been talking with some parents, what trends are you seeing?
Yeah, that number one, Josh, a lot of parents are hitting that one. You know, their kids are doubting themselves, or they're talking negatively about themselves, and they might not just uh, hear it, but they're seeing the actions of their kids play out with that negative self-talk and how they're using social media, how they're showing up on social media, how they're not, how they're comparing themselves. And a lot of that goes back to social media, but they're not talking nice to themselves. And that was one that I really saw in my son. That really was concerning for me because they continue along that negative self-talk. It does a lot of damage in their relationships and how they're showing up and how they want to show up in the future.
Yeah. And to all the parents watching right now, let's just take a quick pause because I want to talk to you about something important. The words that you use impact your kids. The words that every leader uses, and you are the leader in the family. It's no surprise to that. So many parents, after I get off stage, so many parents would come up and want to tell us their story and say, Josh, you don't understand. I'm not tech savvy. I'm not good with Snapchat, Instagram, TikTok. And I would pause them. I'd just go, hey, I hear you. Let's just adjust those words just a little. And I'm a practical and tactical person. I've gotten to meet so many different people. Some of the most powerful billionaires have been in the audience, and everybody else who I resonate with. But I want you to do one thing that I think every human can do, and we're going to talk about it tonight. It's adjust your words. Instead of saying, I'm not tech savvy, or I'm not connecting with my kid, or I'm not this, the following you might consider it. I'm learning Snapchat. I'm learning algebra. I'm learning how to get better at eating the right foods and becoming better at this, or this. That will make a shift. I don't want to get all crazy on you, but it absolutely does make us be less hard on ourselves because we're always making excuses why we're not good. I'll tell you, there's so many roadblocks building smart social to help reach people. We don't compete with there are no other smart socials out there. We compete with Netflix and laziness and parents going, I'm too busy. And so what we're always doing is saying, you know what, this is going to be a really big hurdle for us. We're going to be the world's best at this. When we're done, we're going to be able to do it backwards and forwards and everything else. And that's what I want parents to consider is it doesn't matter if you're not great at something right now, that little tiny twist. All right, let's dive into the next thing. So, walk us through the top 3 parent concerns right now that you're seeing as you talk with parents.
Thanks, Josh. Yes, that number one, that negative self-talk, and really that led to number two, right? That lack of confidence. And they're so intertwined. And so we put them there because, one parent might say lack of confidence, but one resonates with the other, but they're so connected. So we're really excited to talk to you today about some things you guys can do to open up that conversation or connect with your kids about negative self-talk and lack of confidence. The next one I'm seeing a lot of is managing your kids' emotions or seeing your kids act out their emotions. Maybe they get angry, maybe they are crying, or maybe something happens with their friends and they blow it up, right? So they're teenagers. We all know, right?
Yep.
These emotions are big. They're so much bigger than we think they are inside. So, how do we help our kids manage some of those emotions? And the last one here that we're going to talk about that I see is one of the top parent concerns is that self isolation and really leads to that lack of meaningful connection. So, either with their friends or teenagers, and the most hurtful, of course, is that lack of meaningful connection with our own kids. And when we see them retreating, self isolating, they'd rather be in their rooms alone with their phones, you know, our parent hearts hurt. So, really addressing what are some of the things we could do to help our kids
Yeah.
move into that meaningful connection.
And parents, when you're watching this right now, and I know every educator that listens to us watches us and gives us a lot of feedback. The reason why you're here tonight is Smart Social talks to more district leaders than anybody in the country. I know there's some tech companies out there, but I promise you, we have more episodes. We're listening. This is a constant listening tour that we're on. And here's what we hear a lot. A few years ago, I heard from so many parents who were saying, Josh, my son doesn't want to eat. He's playing so many video games. He'll be on there. He'll be playing Fortnite. He's yelling at me, that middle one, managing emotions. And he won't eat. He goes to the snack drawer, or she, and just grabs a snack, comes back, and is just playing with their friends, right? And if we turn the device off, managing those emotions is difficult. There's yelling, there's screaming, there's anger. You're not alone.
Mm-hmm.
That is and I want to coin a term. I've heard this from other people. That is exactly the design of the game. That's a perfectly normal outcome based on what the game wants. And that is exactly how drugs and alcohol work. You want more and you're angry. Where can I get more, right? All right, let's talk a little bit about this. Walk us through. We're going to look at 3 of these. You're going to tell us what you're going to teach us, and then we're going to teach us, and then we're going to review it. So walk us through all 3 of these, Andrea, please.
Absolutely. So these are some of the skills and strategies that we recommend that you use to start to address that negative self-talk. The first one is cognitive restructuring or reframing. And that is, how do we shift and change that negative self-talk into a more positive idea, a new way of saying something? Josh, you gave that perfect idea, right? To us as parents. I am not good at social media, right?
Yeah.
How do we reframe that? We're going to talk about that. We're going to give that same idea of how do we frame that to I'm learning how to be better at social media. So how do we restructure and reframe some of the thinking? The next one is creating positive affirmations. I'm sure you've heard a lot about that, but some ideas on how you can help your kid create positive affirmations and some pro tips that we're going to share with you. That third one is a regular gratitude practice, right? Getting down to the basics. But let's make it happen. What are some of the ways that we can talk to our kids and have them be excited about a regular gratitude practice?
Excellent. All right, we're moving into number one. I'm going to start off a little bit. I want you to give the pro tip. So, the number one parent strategy right now involves helping teens identify and challenge their negative thoughts and beliefs. This is so big right now. I think everybody who's watching this has seen this in teens. Research suggests that cognitive restructuring can be effective in reducing negative self talk and improving self esteem. So, we've got a parent suggested action. Can you walk us through what that is?
Yeah, we suggest you really encourage your teen to recognize, right? Identify uh, what is that thought? And when they're engaged in that negative self-talk, to challenge those thoughts by asking some questions. And that pro tip that we just talked about, right? That negative thought, I'm not good at algebra. How do we reframe it to I'm learning algebra? So by
So good.
replacing these negative thoughts, right, we have this more realistic, a positive, they can start to shift the way they're thinking. And a lot of these are habits. Like there are, the more they think this negative thought, these thoughts, the quicker they move to that negative thought. So it is so essential to start to have these conversations and have these kids start to identify and be aware how many negative thoughts are coming into their minds and how they have the power to change it.
Yeah, and we've all heard people too, and maybe you parents want to tell your kids, don't be so hard on yourself. Why are you being so negative? And that's they don't know how to pull themselves out of that. People who are typically hard on themselves don't know how to say, oh, you're right, let me fix it. But these types of things of, hey, you're having a tough time with that homework. That's great. No, you're not that bad with that. Let's just tweak those words. How about you say this each night? I'm learning algebra, and it tweak that, right? And that's what we've been telling parents about Snapchat, Instagram, everything else. And you'll notice months later they go, you know what? I am learning it. I did sit down and have a little bit of a different attitude there. Let's
Mhm.
move on to positive affirmations. I almost said aspirations, but one and the same. It's all about the future,
Yeah.
and it's where are we going, my friends? Our dream is to get your kid to shine online, and at the age of 25, that they are employable, resilient, amazing. They move out of your house, and you're proud of them. They're making their own friends. And no, this isn't, we don't want to sound too lofty here. You're going to hear practical advice, but here's a parent strategy number two. It involves helping teens create positive affirmations. Research shows and has shown and is currently showing that reciting something positive to yourself or positive affirmation can help improve self-esteem and promote a more positive self-image. Remember, you are the leader in the family, and so maybe this is something you could try. So walk us through the parent suggested action, please.
Yeah, we're just encouraging you to work with your teen, but to encourage them to create a list of positive affirmations that resonate with them, right? And some of these are hard. You don't want to have a positive affirmation that every time they look at it and it says, I am beautiful, but they don't think they're beautiful, so they're going to reject that positive affirmation. So it's really important that your teen resonates with that affirmation, and they might not like believe it right off, but it's something that resonates with them. Here's a suggestion: I am good at blank, or I learn from hard things, right? So something that resonates with them.
I'm going to give a personal, kind of a personal testimonial. I feel like sometimes I give up. I'm just like, oh man, this is terrible, and I get down on myself. So I went to a conference, and this really nice man, he was on stage yelling for 4 hours. He's amazing. He said, "We're not taking any breaks. If you want to go to the bathroom, it's fine." Nobody wanted to go to the bathroom. He was that good, and he said, "You know what I did when COVID hit? Here's how we got over this. I figured it out." And I made this little sign that says "Figure it out," and it's basically my way of saying things get tough and I'm going to figure it out. We're going to overcome this. It's not going to get the best of me. And there's other lines are sometimes we win, sometimes we learn, and learning leads to winning, right? And there's all these things we don't want to just be about words. It's about actions as well. But I absolutely love this. I'm good at this, or I'm getting better at this. I learn from hard things, and so on. Now, walk us through what we can do with these affirmations.
Yeah, Josh, thanks for sharing that story. And I love that. Those are so powerful. And I just want to share really quickly. My son went through the Smart Socials teen life coaching program, which is why I'm here today. I We weren't working together. I was my son was struggling, and Josh talked to me and said, there's a teen life coaching program, and I wanted in. And, you know, my son has a big mirror on his closet. And after their first coaching session, I walked in, and my son's mirror had 3 words on it. And these 3 words were, well, I don't even know if I should share live,
Yeah.
was 3 words that he described himself that he wanted to live up to. And I'll just say one was motivated. And my mommy heart didn't really, I don't know, that wasn't going to be my pick of word to describe him, but he said he was motivated. And it was there big. And every day he wakes up and he knows that those are the words that resonate with him. And then he had positive affirmations all written around his 3 words of things that he wanted to, that inspired him. And they were, I am, I can, I learn, I do, these types of phrases. And so write them out, write them somewhere that you can see them. It's a great way to start to, feel these words. You can repeat them. And
And
sorry, what were you
let
going
me
to say,
talk to
Josh?
you about what this that's powerful testimony about your son, and we're so grateful to have you here. And also for those of you parents watching this on the replay perhaps, or watching us live, one of the biggest things that we at Smart Social have found is if parents continue to say, "Oh, I'll be ready for my son to or daughter to apply to college with the last minute of this, that, we'll do that." What we've often reminded them of is when you go younger, setting their goals, creating a little website, creating their resume, what typically happens is they have to build out what they're good at, what their passions are. They figure out, my goodness, I love piano. I'm good at music. I'm this, as you can see right there. I speak Spanish. And as they build that website, then all of a sudden, if they're walking down the hallway and somebody makes fun of them at school, hey, Four Eyes, you're wearing glasses or whatever, they can go, you know what? That person might have been having a bad day because I know what I'm good at. I did the work of learning my passions, and these skills are going to take me to somewhere. And we're not trying to be all lofty here today. It really does help the kid to understand, to discover themselves inside, and then to get discovered by their dream college, career, internship, and everything else. We're getting ahead of ourselves here, but I hope that parents that are watching this right now can make that little tiny tweak. Pro tip: consider encouraging your students, your kids. I say the word students because we work with all of it, and students love hearing themselves called students, not kids, right? You're a student, you're aspirational. Encourage them to try and ask this question: how am I creative, right? And so if you're creative, how am I creative? Well, in these ways, let them do that math in their head. How do I learn from hard things? Let's move on to number 3. Does that sound good?
Sounds great. Let's do
All
it.
right. Number 3, the gratitude practice. Walk us through this parent strategy.
So, number 3 involves helping your teen focus on the positive aspects of their life and cultivate a more optimistic outlook. So, research suggests that practicing gratitude can have numerous benefits of mental health, including reducing negative self talk, enhancing contentment. I mean, I've done a lot of research on nervous system regulation. You can get really deep into the research of gratitude, it's huge. So, we really encourage your teen to incorporate that daily gratitude practice into their routine. It's like something so simple that we all know, but are we doing it? And how can we do it in a meaningful way with our kids?
Yeah. And what's your parent suggested action here for people?
I don't know. How do we go to the next? Make it sing, Josh. There we go. Oh, yeah. Our pro tip is just that keep that gratitude journal. Or, Josh, you shared that you write in your Apple Notes. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, and I started this a few months ago, and I think this is something that's really neat for a best friend as well, because I started just going in my Apple Notes and saying, here's 3 things I liked about today, one challenge I had. It's good to say what was hard. And then also, what's my number one goal for tomorrow? My niece, she has, they ask him in school, hey, talk about it around the dinner table. What's your high of the day? What's your low of the day? And what's your buffalo? High, low, buffalo. And the buffalo's a random one you didn't see coming. It works really well for students of all ages to have this, but also the gratitude. What's that high? I pull 3 highs out, and even the ones that are difficult, I go, I'm grateful because I will be the world's best at this, right? Challenges, I've started to look at them almost like lifting weights. Like this will damage my muscles a little, but I'll be stronger in the end. And in this case, remember to provide support, like helping to purchase a special journal, prompting, and add encouragement along the way, or ask if they want to text every day to their BFF. This is something I do with my best friend. We text well, we did this for a week or so, and then it dropped off. I got to do it some more. But it was really neat. Hey, here's mine before 11 p.m., maybe 10 p.m. We text each other, and it's just kind of a neat thing to root for each other the next day.
Yeah.
Absolutely
And
great.
Josh, I'll just say that we did the high-low buffalo for about a month. We were regular. We went in and checked with my son, and we were able to share, what did work out and find that gratitude. It was a hard day, but what did we find good about the day? And then we had the hard stuff, and we could understand maybe some of the hard things that we were going through. So I really like the highs and lows too.
Yeah, I think that's beautiful. We've got a comment from Joe. Hey, Joe, I'm going to pop you on the screen. Joe says, "Hey, thank you for all this great information and guidance so far." Joe, thanks so much. Pop to us. We won't show that one, but pop to us. What school district are you with? How'd you hear about us? What city, town? Or let us know what age your kids are, because we'd love to chat more. Absolutely cool. Joe, you just won a $5 Starbucks gift card. Engagement, we love people that are doing that. And hello to everybody else that's joining us live in the webinar, live on Instagram, live on LinkedIn and YouTube. We try it all here. We love testing it all. So that's great. Thanks, Joe, so much for the positive stuff. Let's talk a little bit about difficulty managing emotions. We're going to look at the next three. Teach us about active listening.
Yeah, so active listening, these are strategies again that you can use with your child to help them manage those emotions. Sometimes we think we're listening, but we're often not really listening. The fifth strategy is a technique called STOP, STOP. I'm so excited for you guys to learn this if you are not aware of it. So we'll dive into that soon. You're going to like it. Number 6 is mindfulness meditation. So, we try not to get too woo-woo, but that mindfulness, that awareness, the opportunity just to take a moment, we'll teach a few things on that.
Amazing. All right, let's dive on in. The first parent strategy, number 4, involves paying better attention to how you're listening to your child. Oh, this is so good. Research has shown that feeling heard and understood can significantly reduce emotional distress. Also, active listening can be a powerful tool for strengthening parent and teen relationships. I know we want to fix things. I know I always love fixing things. I've been told, stop fixing things. Just listen to me, right? And I think that's what we're going to a little bit dive into. Walk us through this parent suggested action, please.
Absolutely. And I'll just have to say that some of the most tender parenting moments for me, and I definitely would say for my husband as well, he's shared that are the moments when we think we're going to come in and fix or lecture, but we take a second and we
Yeah.
actually hear, what our kids are actually going through or what they're experiencing, and they start to open up. Those are the most special moments. So here, parent suggested action. Encourage your teenager to express their emotions openly and give them your full attention, validating their feelings and empathizing with their experiences.
Love that.
So, pro tip. So, here's 2 different ways. Josh, do you want to share these?
Um, Sure. And by the way, anybody looking at the screen right now, if you're joining us mobile, take a screenshot, steal these, run with them, and let's please use these on another family. Joe, it's so great to have you here. We got a bunch of people. If you chat in the chat box, you're gonna get a $5 Starbucks gift card if we mention your question, your answer, or anything else. That's right. We're giving them away. I'm like Oprah. You get a gift card. You get a gift card. Love Oprah. The pro tip here is paraphrasing. Example, it sounds like you're feeling really stressed about your upcoming exams. Is that right? And then your second pro tip here, can you walk us through how reflecting is different and why we should ask this next question?
Yeah, of course. So, paraphrasing, right, is when our kids are talking to us and we just paraphrase what they've said. So, we kind of
Mm-hmm.
summarize it, right? It sounds like you're feeling stressed about your upcoming exam because they've talked about it. They're
Yeah.
talking about how stressful they are about their exam. And you're just saying, is that right? Like, did I get it right?
Mm.
Reflecting is maybe where you're seeing your kids have these emotions and they're not maybe really talking about it. So you might need to reflect to them, hey, to me, it seems like maybe you're feeling frustrated because you didn't get the grade you were hoping for, right? They might not be saying it. They might not be saying how mad they are, but you're able to reflect back to them maybe how they're feeling. So those are two great ways.
I want to throw in another one that my friends and I do that's incredible. And this is a pro tip that isn't even on the slides. It's called Gestalt. And Gestalt is so powerful when sometimes your kids and parents, you're amazing if your kids often will say, Mom, what don't tell me what to do. Or if your kids dislike you because you've taken a screen away from them. If once a month your kids absolutely hate you because you took a screen away or did something that's good for them when they're older, we've got your back. We're your cheerleaders. We're here for you. This is why Smart Social exists. But here's another tip. They probably don't want to listen to you, but they listen to a random outsider on YouTube or uncle or aunt or anyone else other than you. You're normal and you're in the right place. But what I want to tell you as well is one of the best tips that I've heard from some of my friends has been, and this works for adults, they'll often say, in my experience, I know I have been, when I'm tired, I kind of lose my emotion as well. Or, I lose my emotion, and this has happened to me before. And then the kid seems the parallel, and they're like, oh my gosh, you're not telling me what to do. It unlocked it. It made sense for me. You weren't forcing it. Gestalt, pretty neat. We call it experience share sometimes. Paraphrasing, beautiful, reflecting, amazing. And if you ever need that, or it works really well on adults. If you ever want to get a significant other or a co-parent, experience share might be somewhat of an action. There's
I
a lot of
love that,
personal
Josh.
experience there, trying to get people to.
That's great.
Okay, let's move into the stop technique. This is absolutely incredible. I'm going to lead into it, and I'm going to let you share the good stuff if that's okay.
Sounds great.
Parent strategy number 5, stop is a common emotional management technique used in behavior therapy to help individuals manage overwhelming emotions or impulsive behaviors. The parent suggested action here is teach the stop technique to your teen and practice it yourself to help interrupt automatic patterns of behavior. Here we go. Walk us through what stop is.
Absolutely. And I'm gonna underline, right? Practice it yourself and
Yeah.
and model that definitely. So pro tip S is for stop, pause, and physically stop what you're doing. When you see those emotions coming up and those patterns of behavior, S, stop. T,
Yeah.
take a breath.
Okay.
Inhale and a slow, long. I combine those. Exhale and focus on the sensation of your breath. O is observe. Take a moment to observe and describe what you feel. P, proceed mindfully. So choose a response that aligns with your values and your goals.
I love that. Absolutely great. And that, especially the stop and take a breath. I think that's so
Mm-hmm.
important. I'm going to do a little personal thing. Both of us cold plunge, right? And so many people have been introduced to. I'm going to be that guy that talks about this, and so many people have been introduced to cold plunging at my house in my cold plunge. They all hear about it. They go, "I got to try this." So I teach them get in slowly, and their mind keeps saying, I might die. It's 48-degree water. It's going to be for 1 minute. If you can stay in for 1 minute, people in the Titanic were in 32-degree water for 3 hours. You're going to be fine. So what we do is we just get them to get in and breathe very slow as they get in. And then they often say, my goodness, this isn't that bad. I think I can do 3 minutes. Somebody last weekend, 7 minutes. They're like, this isn't bad. And it's all because of that breath and just slowing it down a little bit. And it's mind over matter. Once again, I love how you
Absolutely.
said woo woo. We don't get too woo on you, but breathing slow, your heart rate slows down. It's absolutely amazing. All right, let's
Oh,
move into number 6. The number 6 strategy for parents involves helping teens to develop greater awareness of their emotions and to learn to observe them without judgment. Research suggests that mindfulness meditation can be an effective tool for reducing stress, anxiety, and depression while also improving emotional regulation. The parent suggested action here is encourage your teenager to practice mindfulness and meditation regularly, even if it's just for a few minutes today. I got to tell you, my best friend meditates 20 minutes in the morning, 20 minutes at night. Shout out to James. And he's always like, Josh, he told me last week, I will never give up meditation. I have to be honest, I don't meditate, and I want to get into this because I've seen his life absolutely be better. Walk us through the pro tip, please.
Well, this was actually your thought, Josh, because we were talking about a specific technique, or I was sharing a specific technique called a body scan. And basically, where you walk through with your child, and they can say, start at one, maybe the top of your head, and say, I'm aware of my temples. I'm relaxing that area. I'm aware now of my jaw. I'm going to relax that area of my body and kind of move through down the body. And you brought up that, this is kind of like when we counted sheep, right? When we laid in bed and we counted the sheep to calm ourselves, to relax ourselves, to focus on something else besides the thoughts in our heads, the emotions that are going crazy, right? How do we take and hone in on something very specific? So this technique called a body scan, you can call it whatever you want, but helping, maybe doing it with your child at night to help them relax at night, or just try it out to see how they might like it. And then they can do it on their own to help relax themselves.
I like how you said they can do it on their own. And I think that's one of the biggest goals here is you're not going to be around with your kids forever. And that's kind of devastating to think about. But our goal is that they learn under your roof to do some of this stuff, make you proud, as your son is doing now, right? Which is so exciting. Really doing some amazing things. And then that your kids eventually create that daily practice and you can do it with them. And then teach us a little bit about this app. Now, it's not sponsored by them. I know there's one person out there always in my audience that says that. This is something we either pay for or use for free, and we want to share tactical and practical tips with you. What is Insight Timer?
Yeah, Timer is a free app that you can download. I've downloaded it for myself and my son, and it has all kinds of meditations and breath work. You can take anytime. You could do one for 1 minute. You could do it for 5 minutes, for 20 minutes. They have guided kind of body scan options for you to relax at night. There's bedtime stories. There's all kinds of things, but I use this specifically for that 5 minute meditation, mindfulness, just to, start my day, end my day. And my son, actually, I was just telling Josh, my son has used it and gave a little presentation about it to his class because he's been super excited about it.
That's awesome. Recently, I have been running without my phone on me and without music. There's nothing in my ears, and that forces me to come up. It's the best ideas are on that run. Cold plunging, no music, and it's just breathing. So I guess there is a little bit of meditation during exercise, a little bit, right?
You're doing
All
it,
right.
Josh.
We're gonna work the next three. So much room for improvement over here in the Josh Oaks world. All right, look, we're gonna talk about self-isolation, lacks meaningful connections. I'm gonna breeze through this one. We're going to talk a little bit about fostering peer networks. My absolute favorite, decreasing screen time. This is what I've dedicated my life to, and all of us are susceptible to this, especially me. And then last, getting curious and supporting kids' interests. You're in for a treat. Let's look at 6, 7, and 8. The first parent strategy here is involving having your teen connect with peers, their friends. We're going to call them people who share similar interests, experiences, or challenges. Research suggests that peer support networks can play a crucial role in providing validation, empathy, and understanding from others who may be going through similar struggles, helping to reduce feelings of isolation and increase meaningful connections. As I talk with a ton of superintendents all day, the people who run the school district, who runs the schools, who helps support the principals and the counselors and the teachers, one of the biggest things they talk about is we're trying to catch our kids up to get past COVID, the isolation of COVID, which is so sad. And I'm going to walk you through the parent suggested action, and then I want you to share the pro tip. Parent suggested action: encourage your teen to join social events, support groups, participate in peer mentoring programs where they can meet new friends. And it can all start perhaps with what are they passionate about? How do we get them into a club? What do we do there? Okay, Andrea, can you walk us through the pro tip here?
Yeah, so the pro tip is just to help talk to your kids. So with these peer groups, they're come in all different forms and opportunities. And so just really understanding who is in the group. Is it a stranger? How do you define stranger with your kids? And Josh, actually, you're the expert on this
Yeah,
topic.
I think
So
I should,
why don't
if you
you
don't mind.
talk about this one?
So many parents came up to the end and would say, "Oh, but my kid's not online, or this is happening." And what we later learn is that we all want our kids to develop healthy relationships with other students. Relationships meaning a friendship. I could go to that person who's also 13. I'm seeing interests. We want to text back and forth and hang out. We know each other from school. But here's the problem. And when you're fostering peer groups and support groups, parents, I want to alert you to something dangerous that can happen. Kids tend to think because COVID happened that who they play video games with, Mom, those are my friends. I play video games with them. So we need to accurately define who a friend is. And I'm going to reverse that and do what we call a whitelist. People who aren't strangers are the following groups. Number one, people who sit next to you at school. They're trusted, they're students, they're peers, they go to school. Number two, a teacher, anybody in that classroom essentially. Number three, anyone who sits around the dinner table is a trusted person your family has brought into the household, or maybe you've gone over to their house or something. Your parents know them very well, and they're a part of either in your home, or you're at their house a lot, or they're in the classroom. And if you define those people as friends and family, the rest of everybody else are strangers. Mom, they're not a stranger. I've been chatting with them on Snapchat for a year, and they say I'm beautiful, I'm pretty. Red flag alert. We're here for you at Smart Social. There's other stuff to talk about. That's a whole nother webinar. But who isn't a stranger? How do you define that with your kids? And then we start to foster those peer support groups around them, around passions and projects and so on. Okay, let's walk through decreasing cell phone usage. Why don't you walk us through the parent strategy here?
Perfect. So this parent strategy involves limiting, as we all know, screen time, create boundaries around technology use, especially during social interactions or family time. The research has shown that excessive screen time and reliance on mobile devices can contribute to feelings of isolation and disconnect among teenagers. So our
Yeah.
parent suggested action, of course, is to encourage alternative activities that promote face-to-face interaction and connection, outdoor activities, hobbies, spending time with family and friends.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get real time, face-to-face, outside connection. So important.
And here's a pro tip on top of this pro tip. It says plan a weekly family fun night alternating who chooses the activity. Really hone in on the second half. Hey kids, what do you want to do today? Like, hey kids, and inside, dads, moms, you know that you're not into XYZ, whatever it is. And you know what? Let's pause for a sec. You can get outside family fun night, but one of the things that we told parents for a long time, we want to decrease screen time here, but if your kids are playing Fortnite a lot, if you can't beat them, join them, right? That old thing. Have them teach you Fortnite. And then they might want to go with you to do something else. Or if they see something inappropriate, yes, we want to reduce screen time, but good screen time is family screen time. And they're very different. If you're playing with your kid on Fortnite, I'm not saying Fortnite's safe. We do have a whole app guide there, but family screen time is not typically bad screen time. You're learning, you're laughing, you're yelling and screaming in a positive way about you beat me, or all that stuff. So weekly family fun night can be anything, especially if it's something your kids pick and it's putting their best interest first. Please consider. Josh, you don't understand. I'm a lawyer. I'm super busy. So many people would come up. I have a big law firm. You don't understand. I'm like, I do understand. What your kids are begging for, I'm sure you're the busiest person in the world. I get it. What your kids are begging for is, how do we put your kids first just for 15 minutes a night? and just play with them and listen to them and so on. And smartsocial.com, we're going to give away access to our VIP portal. We'll tell you about that in a few minutes. Okay, we're getting down to the last of it. Getting curious and supporting passions. This is the best one, I think. Walk us through this strategy, please. I'm sorry, I get really excited. This is
Yeah,
fun. This is fun.
this is fun. This is fun. So this is our last strategy tonight. Involves showing genuine interest in your teen's passions and hobbies. Research suggests that getting excited about what your child is interested in can foster a sense of deeper connection. And Josh, that's what we want as parents, is just to feel that deeper connection with our kids. Parents' suggested action is to get curious and excited about your teen's interests to drive meaningful conversations and connection. So,
Yeah.
here's our 3 questions to better understand your kids' interests. These are some dialogue starters to help you kind of start talking about it. Can you teach me more about XYZ? Hey, can you teach me more about Fortnite? How do you play? How do you build so fast? I'd love to learn. Sit down, show me, teach me. Connect with them there. Next
Let's
question.
pause for just a
Yeah,
sec.
yeah.
That might be the number one key takeaway from tonight. If you have not taken a picture of this screen right now, parents, take a picture, screenshot it, capture it, send it to a friend. That is one of the biggest things. You want your child to their heart to get 3 times bigger, or any human. Go up to any person that you know on the street who doesn't, maybe no one's curious about them. Can you teach me more about what are you doing? Tell me more. Be interested in them. I'd love to learn, and leave it at that. And that, from what we've seen, I've got 550 episodes on the podcast. Every psychologist, therapist, and counselor says that right there will open that child up. Okay, on to the next one.
I love it. Just another question. Do you remember what inspired you to be interested in XYZ? So, in soccer, in painting, I'm curious to hear what drew you to it, right? Just opening up that dialogue. Last
Yeah.
question. How can I support you in pursuing your interests? And I
Hmm.
think, we think as parents sometimes we're supporting them by like, get your soccer shoes on. Okay, let's get there. I'm taking you. See how I'm supporting you? I'm taking you to all of these lessons. But how do you want me to support you in pursuing your interests? How can I better support you? Might be some other questions to try.
Yeah, so many good things. Once again, if you screenshot this, use it. Let us know here at Smart Social how you've used it. All right, this is where we get to some good stuff. We've talked to thousands of parents across 29 states, as I've been on so many, I call them aluminum tubes, flying across the country, big airplanes. And we understand the struggles families face: sleepless nights, a heaviness in the home, a longing for a deeper connection. And we have a program I want to share with all of you, designed to provide individual support to parents and teens. According to a study published by the Journal of Adolescence, teens who received coaching or mentorship reported higher levels of self esteem, resilience compared to their peers. So, walk us through a little bit of the incredible benefits for this. And then I'd love for you to tell your story, Andrea.
Yeah, I can walk through the benefits and first here. So the first one, increased motivation and confidence. The life coaching program can unlock your child's vision of their future, inner drive through achievement strategies and goal setting. Okay, so I'm just going to stay there, Josh, because if I could claim one thing that this teen life coaching has done for my son, is to unlock that vision of his future, his hope for the future, his being able to see a few years out and be like, this is what I want. And it's not that he knows what he wants to do. He doesn't even know like which college or what he wants to be when he grows up, but he has a feeling of what his life could be like, what it could feel like. And to be able to paint that vision for him was everything, because that motivation, the goal setting, the strategies, none of that's going to happen with any kind of push or meaning or longevity without that true vision of what he wanted. And so, Coach Kevin is Jake as my son's coach, and he absolutely helped create that vision for him. And I think that's made all of the difference.
That's awesome.
Less negative self-talk. So that was our first one we spoke to today, is really equipping the teens with tools to overcome that negative self-talk, letting go of those limited beliefs, foster a positive mindset, writing those gratitude journals, flipping those stories, uh, changing the way they talk to themselves, effective emotional management. We provide practical strategies for navigating emotions, leading to greater resilience, well-being, and grace.
Mm,
That's
mm,
that's and that those emotions are everything in teens right now. So being able to help them navigate that is huge. And then improve social skills. Building meaningful connection is essential for teen development. Through our program, teens learn valuable communication and social skills that enhance their relationships. And
mm,
again, that one comes in as a result of them starting to see their vision, to have more confidence, to be able to manage those emotions and really show up in the social settings, and having a deeper connection with me as a
mm,
parent has
mm.
been everything. And talk about, right, that sleepless night, that's hard as a parent. So if anyone out there right now is having a sleepless night, worried about your teen, I just want you to know that you are not alone. And there are so many of us that have been there or are there right now, worrying about their kids and worrying about their kids' future, and feeling like all we want is that deep connection back with our children.
Yeah, so true. And this is actually your son. Walk us through
He's
first of
so
all,
cute.
yeah, he's great. We interviewed her son. I hope it's okay. His name is right there. His name's Jacob.
Yeah.
Great kid. Um, but uh, walk us through. Let me just read a couple of these because I interviewed him on the podcast. I've worked through so much, he said, Josh, and I've seen so much improvement in my life. After going through such a hard spot in my life, I've gained so much wisdom and so many tools. And by putting in the work, I've seen great results. And he's a good kid. He's always been a good kid, but our team of coaches helped him. And I remember when you first mentioned this to him, you said he's wise beyond his years. You didn't say it that way, but you said he knows a lot of things. But
Hmm.
coaching, I mean, really any mentor, whether no matter what the coaching is, it really helps you put it together and plan out that future. And that's what, at least what I saw in Jacob. What are your thoughts on that?
He, thanks, Josh. And he did have a lot of tools. Like, there were a lot of strategies that I spent a lot of time trying to collect and try to teach him. But sometimes, like you said earlier on this, earlier today, right? That sometimes they can't hear it from us. They need to
Yeah,
hear it from someone else. And
yeah,
what he needed was to hear it from someone else, to have someone else to really feel like he could open up to them and share his hopes and dreams, and who really could understand him without all the other stuff that we have in our relationships, and just hear him and be there for him. And again, he was able to, I just love that he said, gained wisdom and so many tools. And I feel like, he's stepping into that and in owning it himself. It's no longer me nagging or trying to share these things or tell him, okay, here's what your goals are. He has his goals. He knows what they are, and he has some of the tools to handle those hard days.
so true and so great. All
It's
right,
been
so
life changing.
this is the moment where I'd like to invite everybody to learn more about how you can support your teenager, your tween. If they're between the ages of 7 to 18 years old, we go a little bit past that as well. You can scan that QR code to fill out the form, tell us a little bit about your child, and it'll let you set up a call here with our team. With Andrea Allen, she's going to chat with you if you want some more of these strategies, tactics. She'll also give you a free year of our VIP program, our Very Informed Parent program, which is really the flagship of Smart Social for the last 11 years have been running this company. It's kind of crazy with the world's best team supporting us. And we have figured out all of the good and bad apps, a bunch of techniques you can use, ways to navigate this digital world. And now we've layered on this the teen life coaching program that lets you meet with one of our amazing professionals and a real mom who's gone through this program, who left her corporate day job to come and help. Actually, can you please share your vision here at Smart Social for those that are scanning the QR code? What is
Of
your goal?
course, when I called Josh and I said, "I'm going to quit my job. I have to come work for you. This has changed my son's life." And, we had some conversations about it and I just got so emotional and I told Josh, I said, "I want to help 1,000 moms sleep better at night. That's
Yeah.
my goal. I want to have a conversation with you. I want to learn more about your teenagers, your struggles. I want you to know you're not alone. I want to share any wisdom that I have that I've learned over the years that I've been trying to find all the right strategies and share a little bit more about what really has helped my son. So, book some time. I'd love to chat with you.
That's terrific. I'm so grateful for everybody that's supporting us tonight. Smart Social has parent events that educate, engage, and protect so students can someday shine online. But it really starts with the inside. How do we get your kid to discover themselves so someday they get discovered online? And as we've traversed the country to meet with all these people, we have 450 incredible resources. And we really like to help you and work with you to have you. To give you access to our 450 incredible resources. So when you meet with Andrea, when you fill out this QR code, I'll put it back up in just a sec. You're going to get access to the 360 plus teen slang emojis and hashtags parents need to know. This has put us on the news, Fox 8, a bunch of different places. You're going to learn about the 130 plus top popular teen apps that parents and teachers need to know. This made us quite popular because it really reviews the green zone, the gray zone, the red zone, the dangerous challenges. We've got 24 plus parental control software app guide. This is just incredible. And our VIP membership is the first app because product placement. But we're gonna walk you through some of the routers you need, the different apps. We love Bark, all these different things that you might not know about. We rate them. We show you the pros and the cons. We don't get paid by any of these people. We only get paid by school districts and parents to help guide their kiddos, their students, and so on. We have a lot of resources. And once again, the Teen Life Coaching Program, there she is. There's Andrea. Welcome. And that's her testimony there. So when you scan this QR code, it will take you to this beautiful page where you can tell us a little bit about your name, your child's name, your email, your cell phone number, and then what type of improvements or transformation would you like to see in your child. And it'll, on the landing page, it'll let you set up an actual call and bring a co-parent if you like, or anybody else. It's absolutely incredible. And this is complimentary. You can take your action. We'll give you a really beautiful, like a 7-page guide that is customized for your family as we listen to you, and we give that to you. We get to learn a lot from the parents. Tell us a little bit about what other stuff will you talk with families about as they come to meet with you?
Yeah. Again, mostly it'll be about learning about your child and some of the struggles that you're going through. I will walk through the difference between therapy and our coaching program or coaching generally. We get that question a lot. What are the differences? And so we'll walk through that. We'll talk about those dirty dozen that Josh shared at the beginning, right? And to
Yeah.
start to identify some of the struggles that you might be seeing with your kid. And then what are the goals? We'll also show you 12 of the goals that you can choose what would actually really, really make a difference in the lives of your family and what would really help you sleep better at night. So we'll walk through those and then just share a little bit more of the details about our Teen Life Coaching. How does it work?
Yeah.
How is it structured? How can we help your kid? And yeah, that's
If
about
you're
it.
interested, in addition to build a resume for your kids, set some goals, plan their career, this is the QR code for you, my friends. I want to brand them online. Josh, you don't understand. They posted something that's bad for them, and we really want to talk to them about how to post things that help them get hired instead of fired. you're talking to the right people, and you're staring at the right QR code. When you set up this call, you're going to unlock 450 plus resources, a quick little chat with us, and also you're going to be able to start getting your kid on a way to navigate the digital world that we call it, so they can shine online. That's the undertone of our logo. It says Smart Social, learn how to shine online. That's our dream, but it starts on the inside, and then it happens outside where they start smiling a little bit more. And parents have asked us, now that you taught us the safe apps and the dangerous apps, can you please help our child on the inside? And that's why we developed this program. We brought in the very best. We're so honored. Shout out to the incredible research team, the outreach team, everybody here at Smart Social. We are very fortunate to do some fun work, some incredible work for some great people. Well, we're rounding it out, my friend. So we have that QR code up there. Those of you who want to join us, this will be the last minute or so, and then we're going to respect your time. We are right at the end of the hour, and I'm so grateful. How do you feel, my co-star over here?
Oh, I am so excited to be here, Josh. And just if I can help one, I mean, I said 1,000, but if I can help that one, help their kid smile and have the light back on in their eyes, I'm just so excited to be part of Smart Social.
Thank you. We have 3 of those spots available. If you click that link, there's only about 3 because we are limited. We've got a lot of really neat things going on. We're on the news a lot. We're developing big programs for school districts, and we'd love to chat with 3 more families. I'm going to put that QR code up here one more time. There's a lot more people on here than we probably could. So why don't you just take a quick peek at that, scan that if you haven't already done it. The first 3 people get that. And Joe, you're awesome. Joe gets a $5 Starbucks gift card. Thank you so much. Thank you for all this. He says, great information and guidance so far. Thank you so much. Joe, you are awesome. We really appreciate it. And for the rest of you, we are so grateful for you. We'll see you all soon. And as the title of my book says, remember to keep it light, bright, and polite, because your kids are watching what you do online and offline. We'll see all of you very soon. Andrea, thank you so much for joining us here today. We got a lot of really great things going on. All right, everyone. Have a great rest of the evening. Thanks so much for joining us.
Good night, everyone.